Hey guys, it's Luke, a top Radiant player, and on everything I'm about to give you the best warm-up ever. Tech that me and other top players use to stay consistent. Play like this. And climb like this. A lot of players don't know that Jett's actually your best friend in the range. Because of her knives, first bullet accuracy, and zero spread, you can train your aim to perfection without having to do too much. Focusing on your movement and other things can come later. But if you want to solely train your aim and stay sharp, then using knives is probably the best thing to do. The range has so many different elevation changes that you can use for your own benefit. Oops. But yeah, the range has so many different elevation changes that you can actually use, and you get to stay ahead of your enemies because they're not going to be doing this. And using elevation is a very good way to train your horizontal and your vertical aim, because these are rare scenarios that you don't really get into that often. Most of your gunfights are going to be holding for swings and people are going to be right in front of you. So if you use elevation changes, you get to train a rarer type of aim that is not often used, and then that just means you're going to be ahead of everyone else. They're only going to be stuck with mediocre horizontal aim while you build your horizontal and vertical aim, because you use Jett and you updraft and kill bots in the range. What I like to do, I like to stand here on this wooden barrier or whatever it is, and I like to just go between bots and just kill with knives. It's really effective if you do this as a warm-up, because it trains your horizontal and vertical aim, like I said before. Like, I'm not just making one horizontal movement for most of these kills. For most of them, I'm going diagonally, so I'm training a bit of my horizontal aim and a bit of my vertical aim at the same time. So learning to gauge this distance through a horizontal plane, or a vertical plane, or a diagonal plane is really useful. Another thing people like to do is updraft with knives. This is really good because you can actually train your horizontal and vertical aim again. And I'm going to keep stressing this because this is one of the most important fundamental mechanics that nobody ever talks about. How aim is not just one spectrum and it's broken down into many parts. Like, to look like a flashy aimer, you need to learn like every single aim style. You need to learn flicking, you need to learn tracking, you need to understand and be able to gauge the distance between two targets really quickly. Like, this is how, you know, you perfect your aim. Another thing that I like to do in the range is just running around with knives. It's very effective, and you're training your tracking as well, and you're trying to learn how to lead your crosshair with movement. Even though this is kind of more of a Jett specific mechanic that you're training, it still comes in helpful, handy or whatever, because you're learning a skill, right? That just complements your aim in general. Even if you play, I don't know, if you play Sentinel or whatever, you can still use this and it's gonna keep your aim like really ahead of everyone else. Because tracking is also a mechanic in Valorant. Even if you train it like this, your tracking overall is gonna improve in different scenarios. Let's say there's like, I don't know, a Jett updrafting that you need to spray before she can pull out her knives. If you train your tracking here by running like this and killing, you're still training your tracking in that same sense, because tracking is just overall one concept that can be applied to anything. It's just moving your mouse, and if you learn how to move your mouse like in a certain manner, then it just becomes easier. Another thing that you should do is jump with knives, and I think I might have said this before in the video, but this is because you're introducing elevation change. Elevation change is one of the most powerful things you can use to improve your aim or warm up your aim, because it just trains everything. Instead of taking easy shots like this, just make it a bit harder and you learn something new. You're gonna miss a lot though, like when you updraft or jump and hold glide. And it's okay that you miss, because we all need to miss to learn. Like, I never used to be this good, and we all didn't start off as good as we are now. But yeah. Next is now rifling. You should always try and practice your rifling before you get into the game, because that is basically the whole point of the game, to shoot your rifle. Just strafing and killing bots is normally enough for people. Try focus on hitting your first billet most of the time, and don't focus on speed if you haven't got the hang of things yet. Just focus on the first billet, because that's always the most important. The way you start a fight determines a lot of things in the game. Another thing that you should always do as well is play Deagle, or any pistol really. Getting used to the tap fire headshots is very important if you want to climb the ranks, because headshots are the most important thing if you want to close out a gunfight quickly. Most people complain often that, oh, when I swing I just get tapped. It's because you get headshot, you know? That's the way you die quickly. Walking around and changing the position of bots and yourself is always a good thing to do, because if you're moving, you're learning how to improve your own movement while taking shots. So I'm taking a good shot on this guy and insta-stepping and taking another good shot on this guy. It's all about your movement as well. Aim is just one concept, but you need to mesh it together with everything you learn to be the best player, really. Another thing that I also like to do is just standing at the front of the range and just counter-strafing while killing bots like that. It's really powerful to practice your counter-strafing before you get into a game. Also, side tangent, people that say the range is useless, like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is genuinely your best asset when it comes to Valorant, and you should genuinely always warm up before you play, if you want to improve, that is. If you're just a casual player, then it probably doesn't matter to you that much how you play. But if you want to improve, and if you don't go in the range, it's like going to a boxing match like without ever training. It just doesn't make sense, and it's kind of pointless. So always open the range as soon as you open the game, or whatever, and maybe play a few death matches after to help you, you know, play against real players a bit. It's always useful. I like to do it sometimes if I'm still not feeling it after the range. I know this was brief, but genuinely this is all you really need. I feel like everyone overcomplicates stuff in this game so much, when this game at core is just simple. It's just shooting people. It's not that difficult, and you don't need to do all this fancy stuff like that people will show you on TikTok or YouTube. Like, bare bones, this game's so easy. Like, I promise it's not hard. On everything, it's not hard. Just try it, and then you'll improve in like 2 weeks. I'm not kidding. Yo.